I like to share a story about how I healed my wife's bad knees from a distance. It's been about 14, 15 years ago. And the method that I use is called the Silva method. At the time, this is around 2005, 2006, I was studying the Silva method and using it on how to heal things or to make things happen in my life. I'm excited that the Silva method is back in circulation where people are talking about it again. It's a little small book that Jose Silva wrote, and it talks about how you can create things in your life through your thoughts, how you can heal things not only from yourself or others. So as we all know, we use beta waves when we're fully awake. It's just when we start to go to sleep that we start to use the alpha waves of our brain when we're not fully awake. And if you've ever had extreme, almost genius or revelation of something right before you're going to sleep and you're like, oh my God, I just solved the problem. It's the same kind of power. It's basically you're using the alpha waves of your brain to communicate with the outside world to make things happen. So my wife, before I met her, was having I don't know if it was arthritis or pain in both of her knees. And it might be genetic because her brother has the same issue. And she would always complain about her knees always hurting. It was just tremendously. I was at home and she's a nurse, so she is always on her feet. And when I was on the phone with her, we were talking on the phone. She called me during her break and she's like, my knees are killing me. And I was like, I've been studying the Silva method on how to heal that. I says, I want to do that on you. And she's like, okay, whatever. She knows I'm kind of a geek and I'm into different things like that, right? And by the way, you don't have to read the whole book. You don't have to read chapters and become some kind of expert. Literally, if you just read the first 10 pages of the Silva method, and you can get the Silva method for $3 on Amazon. You can get it at a 5 and dime store. Just get the old version, and it'll show you how you go into meditation. It'll show you how to meditate if you've never meditate, where you close your eyes, you look upwards, you sit in a relaxing position, and you count down. You practice counting down in your head. You start out with 100 to 1. And then you might reduce it down to 10 to 1. And you put yourself into a relaxing state. So basically you're trying to get your brain into the alpha waves while still being awake. When you get down to 0, what you do is you use a photograph in your brain as you have your eyes closed. And the imaginary photograph shows the first picture is what you're trying to fix. So it'd be like a broken, whatever in your life or a situation that's not what you want. And then what happens is the next picture is you show it being repaired somehow. So what I do is I use an imaginary robot from the future. Whatever's a physical element, the robot will, so for example, my wife's knees will inject, in my brain, will inject something into her knee. And it's like this healing purple elixir that's going into her knees. And I might concentrate on that for a minute or two as I'm still meditating. And then I'll let the next picture in my brain go. And then I'll show her moving her knee and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not hurting anymore. And again, you could do this with other situations in your life. You could do it with your own body if something's hurting or something's wrong with your own body. You can focus and put all that healing power through meditation on your own body. I find it works better when you're doing it to other people or other things, because sometimes we love, and I feel like that's one of the connections is when we have intense feeling and emotion and love. When we have that towards someone else, I feel like it's more powerful, in my opinion. So I did that to her. When she came home, she didn't mention anything about it. I was like, oh, by the way, how's your knees? And she didn't even think about it. She's like, you're right. My knees feel pretty good. I was like, I did the Silva method on you. I did it. I did it for 30 minutes, and I was concentrating on healing your knees. She's like, okay. She's a very scientific, skeptical person. Okay, even to this day, by the way. A week goes by, I'll even ask her. She's the kind of person that would never, tell me that it was better. I would ask her a week later. She's like, yeah, it's good. a month, a year later, 2 years later. And by the way, we've gotten divorced since. She still does not have pain in her knees, and I'll ask her every once in a while because I do see her because I have custody of a child with her, and she will say, yeah, I don't have knee pains. I don't have any knee pain anymore. She had chronic knee pain for years, ever since she was a teenager, and it completely healed it. And yes, I do think it was the Silva method that healed it. Basically using the power of the brain to do it. Now, you could do this with other things. You can do it like if you have a bad ankle or a bad back, or if you want a situation to happen in your life. Like if you know that there was a bad situation coming up, like with in-laws, for example, and you know that it might be an argument or a bad situation, before you go into that appointment or that meeting, you can focus on making that meeting go the way you want it by going into the meditation. So let me finish with the meditation. After the elixir goes in and you heal, then you count up to 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you awake. And you will feel good after you do it. You feel like relaxed and calm, and you feel powerful and in control. And that's one thing that the Silva method does. It gives us this ability to feel like we're in control of our thoughts and have the thoughts organized. So I thought you would enjoy that. I love the Silva method. I haven't read it or haven't practiced it in years. I'm even a little bit kind of scared with it because it's so powerful. Has there been times that I've used it and it didn't work? Yes. So again, like I said at the beginning, I'm not saying that it's some kind of cure-all or it's some kind of whatever, but it does work, and there's something scientific about it, using radio brain waves of your brain to heal and make things happen in life. Alright, I hope you enjoy this video, and make sure you subscribe. I'll be making more of these.